This is the Sports Porch, Philadelphia, with your hosts, the Grand Schwabini, Rube, and me, your technical director. Come on, Philly, show us a little Eagles, Flyers, Phillies, and Sixers love. The Philadelphia Sports Porch starts now.
All right, Ruby.
What up? What up? We got to change the beginning. We're going to have to change our intro.
We do, because it still says that TD is a part of the show, and we bid farewell to our good friend. But I'll tell you,
we love you. We love you, TD.
We do love you, TD. It was a quiet week in some ways because it was a bye week for the Birds. And but today was kind of an interesting day because it was the NFL trade deadline. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about how the Sixers and the Flyers are doing, maybe what's ahead for the Phillies in the offseason. And we're also going to talk about that World Series because how can you not? I mean, it was pretty exciting, wasn't it, Rube?
How good was that World Series? Look, I got to tell you, as someone who doesn't normally listen, I think I will watch even if the Philadelphia teams are eliminated, but I watched and I enjoyed the postseason, the baseball postseason. I loved watching the Tigers Mariners. And obviously there's a vested interest in this house for the Tigers. Lemmer, big Tigers fan from outside of Detroit. And then watching the World Series, it was just really good baseball. Everything we talked about the Phillies and, what holds them back is what I saw these teams doing really well. You think about the last inning of the World Series, and there was inches. Plays, the World Series was decided on inches. And sometimes those basics and base running and positioning and all that kind of stuff, it makes a difference. So let's talk more. Let's talk more about it. Are we going to jump into that first?
Yeah, we can jump into that first. Just want to say first beforehand, you can watch us on Facebook on Philadelphia Beautiful. We're also on X at Philly Porch is the handle, and on YouTube you can watch us at Philadelphia Sports Porch. And we will also drop the podcast right after the show, and you can listen to it, the rest of your life on loop. I mean, you can. If you really want to, you can. But yeah, getting back to that World Series, just what we were talking about.
Let me ask this question.
Okay, ask the question.
Best World Series you've ever seen?
I mean, here's the problem I have with that question.
Please.
I mean, like the first thought that comes to mind is yes, but it's also the most recent. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like I'm trying to think back. Like, believe it or not, I mean, even though I hate the team, that Mets Red Sox World Series when we were in high school was insane.
Oh, Bill Buckner?
Yeah, where the ball went through Bill Buckner's legs and they had that humongous comeback, and that was a crazy one. I mean, of course, any World Series that the Phillies win, I kind of like I sort of put my team winning above just a flat out the best series. But no, but at the same time, I mean, look, you'd be hard pressed to find a better series. I mean, this one really had it all. I mean, you had the 18 inning game, right? And to be honest, once the Dodgers won that game, I was like sure it was over. I'm like, okay, now Dodgers in 5.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Blue Jays came back was just completely surprising to me. And that the Dodgers were able to, muscle out those last 2 games by inches was surprising also. I mean, and yeah, it did hang on every single play like in those last two games. It was really something. I mean, and then you had like the individual performances. Like, I mean, my God, the game that Ohtani got on base 9 times out of 9 times. I mean, that was crazy.
Do you not want to like with Ohtani, everyone's like, oh, Ohtani's the best ever, da 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 da. And you're like, you really, as a Philadelphia fan, you're like, I just don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe he's the best ever. And then you watch this guy play. Not only does he play, but he pitches. You know, his pitching left a little bit to be desired on short rest. But he's out. He's amazing. He hits bombs, gets on base, he pitches, he's clutch as hell. It was really fun actually to watch some of these players play and to come up big in big moments.
I was actually watching the final game 7 in a bar in Florida, and like every play that happened, everybody was like, "Oh," you know.
I love to see that with baseball because you know we grew up with baseball, but I want the generation coming up to see series like this and to see how good it can be and how exciting every pitch can be. I just thought, you know, I thought it was amazing. I thought what was really compelling was when Roberts put in the second baseman who hadn't played in a month. Rojas was his name or something like that.
Right.
And he was 1,000% right. He hits the home run, then makes the play in the second inning. I think he made a play the night before as well. It's just like this guy must have had some sort of crystal ball. And every move, the managers managed well, the players came up big. But you know, do you feel kind of bad for Jeff Hoffman?
To be honest, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. 100% knew it was going to happen. I mean, I was sitting there, I was watching the game. This was the night I was in the bar, right, watching it. And I like, you know, I'm hanging with some people. I said to this guy, I'm like, look, I'm telling you, I'm a Phillies fan. You do not put Jeff Hoffman in to close out the World Series. I'm telling you, you don't.
Yeah.
And then, you know, look, and then it was that guy with the 9-hole hitter, you know, like he hit like 3 home runs maybe the whole year, you know. I mean, he just, you know, he's a weird pitcher, Hoffman. It's like, you know, he goes through these stages where like he can be unhittable for a while, but I read some sort of report that like he had given up like 14 home runs this year. I mean, that's like an incredible amount of home runs for a relief pitcher.
Yeah. He's you know, I kind of felt for the guy. I actually was sitting there thinking if he does close this out, I'm gonna talk about it on the sports porch, or I might even text you, Mark, and be like, hey, I told you the Blue Jays were going to be big this year. No one believed me. And number 2, and it was a total guess, by the way, but I said it. It was a good hot take. And number 2, maybe Jeff Hoffman does have it, and got inside of 5 minutes. It blew that text to you away, and I deleted it.
Hey, you know, I was ready to say the same thing too. I mean, had they won, I would be like, okay. So, you know, we kept Strom and we got rid of, you know, Sir Anthony Dominguez and Jeff Hoffman, and now they both have a World Series.
I didn't know Dominguez. I didn't even know Dominguez went to the Blue Jays. I didn't see him. He didn't pitch.
No, he was pitching. He was pitching like he was like he'd be the guy who'd come in like in the 7th inning.
Okay.
You know.
Well, so many of these games went extra innings. Right. Like, I'm sure the pitching rotations were all off. But listen, bottom line. Great series, great baseball, was really enjoyable to watch. Too bad the Phillies didn't make it. Too bad my wife's Tigers didn't make it. But very, very good. So, I mean, go ahead.
I'm kind of glad that the Dodgers won, because at least that gives me a little solace in saying, well, maybe the Phillies were really the second best team in baseball. No, but in all honesty, they're not as good as the Blue Jays. You know, the Blue Jays lineup is stacked. They actually have a better lineup than the Dodgers do. I mean, but yeah, you know, but again, the Phillies, they were pretty darn close in every single game against the Dodgers. I mean, the Phillies owned Ohtani, you know.
Close but no cigar. Close but no cigar. There's no solace there. So maybe what we do now is we segue to stay or go. Let's, we're into the
Okay.
off season. Oh, by the way, Lemmer chimed in
Yeah.
when we were talking about Jeff Hoffman.
Yeah.
Not the guy, just not the guy. Uh,
That's right. That's right,
and
Lemmer.
I tell you, Lemmer was on pins and needles. She was shaking. She so badly wanted to see the Blue Jays win, which I still don't understand why. Maybe it's because she grew up kind of close to Toronto. I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, but nevertheless, so now we're in the off season. We've got some big decisions to make. I'm going to go down the list.
All right.
You tell me stay or go. And I guess I'm going to assume not everyone can stay, but I guess if you can make an argument, do it.
Hmm.
Let's take it from the top. Harrison Bader, stay or go.
For me, he's got to stay, man. I mean, he was like basically the energy of the team, and actually, when he went out of the playoff series, it's like our heart went out with it, with him. I really like him. I mean, look, even if he doesn't, hit 280 and hit 25 home runs, I mean, his defense alone is such an upgrade. And I mean, there are guys who are supposed to be good defensive players, like Johan Rojas, but
Hmm.
then there's guys who really are great defensive players. Like this guy doesn't drop the ball. This guy goes and takes it away over the fence like it's routine. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I love him. I definitely want to keep Bader. I really hope they keep him.
Yeah, I would agree. I think when's the last time we said, "Gosh, man, our center fielder is a good defender and can hit and is the engine, so to speak, that helps drive."
Mhm.
So I'd love to keep him. I don't know why he's moved around so much. So what are we missing here? But he seems to be a good fit on this team. I don't
Mhm.
break the bank, but I'd love to see him stay.
I agree. I
All
agree.
right, next on the list, Ranger Suarez. What say you? Stay or go?
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, now this is the one where, unfortunately, I think he's most likely to go. I mean, and it's just because we've got Nola and Wheeler, on long-term deals, I guess. We've also got Jesus Lazardo, um,
Is he on a
who would
long? Is Lazardo on a
no,
long-term deal?
no, I think he needs a deal too.
Yeah.
Um, and then you've got, obviously they're probably thinking about having Painter in the rotation. And Sanchez, of
And
course,
Sanchez,
right?
yeah.
And then I guess the other part that's kind of difficult is, like you've got Sanchez, um, and let's say Lazardo's easier to keep. That's kind of why I'm going that direction.
Mhm.
Um, you've already got two lefties. Do you need a third lefty? But to me, Suarez is like one of the most reliable players we've had over these years. I mean, he's like one of the guys who has never failed in the playoffs. So and he's obviously he's like cool as a cucumber. I mean, he's got ice in his veins. I mean, he is not rattled by anything. I mean, I love him, and I know he does get injured every year. It seems,
Little
but I
chunky, maybe a little out of shape.
maybe a little out of shape. But I don't know if for me, I'm trying to keep him. I mean, like, I think part of this, part of what Dombrowski has to do is you got to change the core of the team at least a little bit. But you gotta find ways to make things happen, like kind of a la, yeah, Howie Roseman, like and Lemmer here. Keep him over Nola. I agree completely. Look, I know that Nola would only be like in a second year of like whatever it is, a 5 or 6 year deal. But like you gotta find a way to get somebody to take Nola. You gotta find somebody to take him. Just like, it was hard for people. Like we never thought that, it was gonna be easy to get somebody to take Carson Wentz, or, we never thought it was gonna be easy, like how are we gonna get rid of DeMarco Murray? Well, we did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So like we got to find a way for somebody to take Nola. And I think similarly, like I think they're going to find a way for somebody to take Casty as well.
yeah.
Um, But that's what you got to do. You can't just sit there and be like, well, we're paying him all this money. It's you got to get a good team, well-rounded team on the field. What do
All
you
right.
think?
So I don't think we're going to keep Suarez.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be able to afford it unless we do find a taker for a Nola or a Castellanos. But I think I'd like to keep him, but unfortunately, I think he's going to go. So I'm going to say, for the sake of today's discussion, go. We got Painter coming up. We've got 2 other lefties. Is Painter a righty?
Yeah, he's a righty. He's
Wheeler.
a righty.
Hopefully Wheeler will be back. I don't think there's
Mhm.
any guarantee that he'll be back. If he is not, I don't know what we do. But
Well, actually, I mean, I did hear reports. They're saying he's going through his protocols really, really well, and that there's a chance he might actually even start the season.
mhm.
So, you never know. I mean, probably he'll be ready, but they'll like take it slow and bring him in like maybe 2 months into the season or something.
Yeah,
That's my guess, but I think
yeah.
he'll be back.
Well, we'll find a way, like you said. Luzardo was a good 4th or 5th starter. He
Right.
only did 15, 16 wins this year, and he did a good job in the playoffs. So
Hmm.
I'd find a way to get him back, and I think
Hmm.
unfortunately Suarez is going to go.
Yeah. Well, because
Um,
he's probably going to be one of the top pitching prospects on the
yeah,
free agency. So
yeah, he's
yeah,
going to get a lot of money, and
yeah,
we've got just so much money tied up in these other guys. Like you said,
yeah,
unless there's a way we can shed some of that, I don't think it's doable. All right,
yeah.
next on the list, JT Realmuto.
You have to. There's no other way around it. I mean,
Tell me more.
yeah. I mean, basically, he runs the whole pitching staff.
Mhm.
And everybody loves the way he catches a game. He's still a great defensive catcher. I mean, he throws everybody out. Um, and look, his hitting. Look, it's not phenomenal. But in the second half, he really did kind of come on quite a bit. Um, but yeah, I mean, like, look, is JT gonna hit like close to 325 home runs anymore? I doubt it. I mean, is he gonna hit more like 260 and maybe 13 home runs? Probably more likely something like that. But
Mhm.
what else can you get out of a catcher? I mean, that's not named Cal Raleigh. You know what I mean? You
You
know what I
love
mean?
watching. By the way, do you love
Yeah,
that was another thing I liked about the
yeah,
playoffs. I'll wrap it up for a
mhm,
second. I loved watching that guy hit, man.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like you or I going out there,
Right,
trying to swing for the fences, and he
right.
he, he was special.
He looked like he was playing wiffle ball out there.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
you know,
He looked like a beer league dude.
right. So, but yeah,
But
look, there's no
what
good
point?
catchers.
Yeah, but at what point do you just have to? Do we have anyone coming up in the farm? And so when you say we need to change our core,
No, we
who
don't. We don't. We traded our best catcher when we got Rojas.
when we got Rojas?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So you're saying JT stay?
I think he's going to stay. The other thing is, I don't think he's going to really command a lot of money. So, I mean, I think they're saying like, you could probably get him on like a 3-year deal, like, maybe 25 million a year, something like that.
Okay. Listen,
So,
I agree with everything you said. The most important thing he does for the team is run the pitching staff and catch the pitching staff and call the game. And you can't argue. Our pitching staff has been great.
right.
So I agree. I think you need to keep him. So why don't we go to the next person on the list, and probably the most controversial, Kyle Schwarber. Stay or go?
I think it's a must stay. I mean, now I don't think it's definitive that he is going to stay.
Hmm.
Because we don't know what he really is interested in. Is he really interested in making as much money as he can? Well, if that's important to him, he could probably do better elsewhere, I'm guessing. Um,
But that's
you
not my
know,
question. My question is,
do I want
if,
him?
if if you're the GM, what are you doing?
I have to sign him no matter what. And I'll tell you why, really.
Okay.
The the real answer to that is he is our best player. Bryce Harper isn't our best player anymore. It really is Kyle Schwarber. Now I'm saying, look, now Bryce Harper can do some other things better than him. He can field. He's a good first baseman. He can hit for average. Kyle Schwarber really can't.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a world of difference between, 50 home runs and 25. I mean, and 120 RBIs and 70. There's a world of difference. I mean, he really is our best player. From what I understand, I mean, it's really hard to see on TV, but apparently he's really the leader of the team.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he never gets hurt. He pretty much plays a full season every year. I think you have to. I think you absolutely have to. I mean, if you lose Schwarber from this lineup, we're easily. I think we could easily be 10 games worse. Seriously.
Yeah. How are you going to afford all these? How are you going to afford all these guys?
Well, there's good news. You can go as high. You can go as high as you want. Middleton. but
that means again, right? You look at Schwarber, aging star. Harper's not going anywhere. Real Muto, aging star. Guys that haven't come up in the playoffs. So being the leader of this team, great for 96 wins. But what does that got us in the playoffs? I'm gonna give you a hot take and say, I think you let him walk.
Oh, I don't know.
I think you let him walk. I think he's going to demand gazillions of dollars. He's going to demand a long-term contract, and we're going to be riddled and stuck with, how many more years is he going to hit 50 home runs? I don't know. There's not a lot of precedence for late 30-year-old guys hitting 50 home runs, and if that's the value he adds to the team, in terms of runs on the board, if given the choice between a Real Muto, who I think accounts probably for more wins, just given how he handles the pitching staff, I think I sign Real Muto and I let Schwarber walk.
Well, I mean, I hear you. I mean, now the Phillies have pretty openly said, they want Schwarber back.
Yeah. They're saying the right things because the fans want him back.
Right. I don't know. I mean, like, to me, again, I think if you really want to win, I look, this is the year that Dombrowski really has to do something special. I mean, look, did he make some nice moves last year? Yeah, sure he did. I mean, he brought in Jesus Luzardo. He traded for him. Turned out to be a really good pitcher. He traded at the deadline, made an excellent trade at the deadline, getting Rojas, getting I'm sorry, not Rojas, Johan Duran.
Yeah.
And also picking up Harrison Bader, which was an excellent find. So he did do some good things, but at the same time, like, I need him to work magic with the financial end. I need to unload Nola and unload Castellanos so we can keep Schwarber. Like, that's what I need him to do. And you got to find a way to do it. Even if it's like something that's uncomfortable, even if it's like 1 year of, okay, we're going to pay 3/4 of Castellanos' salary for his last year. You know what I mean? Whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do, or you're just not going to be able to compete with these top teams. I mean, I don't like the idea of, I mean, like, what Dombrowski says, and what anybody in Phillies upper management says, it's true, but I also don't like it. The whole statement about, like, well, hey, it's really hard to win. And, when you have a really good ball club and you got the second best record in baseball by 1 game, you just got to hope that, you're getting hot at the right time of the year. Well,
he's right.
Now that is right. That is right. But I will also say this, I look at the roster of the Dodgers and I look at the roster of the Blue Jays, and I feel like both of their rosters are deeper than ours. So, so look, figure it out. Look, the Blue Jays roster is deeper than ours at a lesser payroll. And the Dodgers, of course, are the max payroll. But, look, there's got to be a way. Figure it out financially.
Yeah.
Gosh
All right.
darn it. Gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it. So it should be an interesting offseason in the tri-state area and the Delaware Valley to see what happens there. And we'll see if our predictions are right. Shall we move on to the next page? What else we got, Schwaber?
What else we got? Well, I don't know if you remember, because it was so long ago, about 3.5 hours ago. But the trade deadline for the NFL has come and gone, and the Birds have made a couple moves. I think at least one of the moves I really like. So let's talk about each of them. Let's talk about kind of the big one, I guess, if we're going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can do this. No, that's not what I want. Let's see. This is what I want. There we go. Jalen Phillips from the Miami Dolphins.
Did you know anything about him before all this trade talk?
Yeah, I did. I knew who he was. I knew he was like kind of like up and coming, like, good player. But had some injury concerns over the years.
Yeah. I think he had an ACL. I think he might have had an Achilles. He wasn't the one that I wanted, but he was the one that I assumed Howie was going to go, because it seemed like he wanted to go after some value here. And obviously Fangio, he's played for Fangio.
Right.
It's the right position. Seems like he has the right pedigree. I'm scared of the injuries, and he's at the coming to the end of a deal, so he's gonna have to prove it. So I like it. Listen, we had to go pick someone up. If we were desperate enough to bring BG back from retirement, I thought it was going to be bigger. I was hoping we were going to go out and find a way to get Myles Garrett. So kind of a disappointment. And with this deal as well as the others, was it Howie just kind of making deals to make deals? Or are these guys going to pan out? Because each of them kind of has their values down, so to speak. So
this is one of the others here. You have Jaire Alexander, who for some reason was a healthy scratch quite often for the Ravens, but was a Pro Bowl corner as recently as 2022 in Green Bay, which is interesting. And then you also have the Michael Carter, the second.
Yes.
Which some people say is a really good nickelback. I don't know, to be honest, I really can't say I remember watching him play. But look, here's sort of the way I'm looking at these moves here, Rube, and you'll tell me what you think. Well, first of all, Jaire Alexander.
Jaire.
Is it Jaire? Okay. Jaire Alexander. Look, I sort of look at it like this. Look, it's either one thing or the other. Either he is just done because of injury and he's never going to recapture his speed or his movement or whatever, or there's a path back to being, maybe not a Pro Bowl cornerback, but maybe a very solid cornerback, right? And if it's going to happen somewhere, it would probably happen in Philadelphia, because he's rejoining his Green Bay defensive backs coach.
Okay.
So that's the scoop there. But look, I'm not, before you respond, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
So now Michael Carter, again, kind of a highly touted nickel cornerback who has had some injury concerns, but apparently he is healthy now. Now, this is the way that I look at this, right? We know we've got at the corner spot, we've got Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. We love them both. They're great players, right? The other two are Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo.
And John and the other guy, Jacoby and whatever his name is.
Right, and Jacorian Bennett.
Jacorian Bennett. Yeah, there you go.
So, look, I mean, I think what the Eagles are saying is Keely Ringo, outside of his special teams ability, and Adoree Jackson are so bad that we just need somebody serviceable there. And these guys, if they're healthy, they're much more serviceable than those two guys. That's honestly what I think. So if it pans out that way, then it turns out to be a decent move.
I think Jair Alexander is Adoree Jackson 2.0, right? Same thing, was once very good, has been hurt. I expect nothing out of him. As a matter of fact, I wonder who we're going to cut from the active roster in order to bring him in.
We did cut Patrick Johnson today.
Okay, well there you go. So that's to make room for probably for Phillips. So I have no hope for Alexander. Would we give away for him? Probably not much. Is that a 6th round pick or something? I don't. Whatever it was.
6 to get a 7th back.
So low risk, but I don't think we're going to get much. The Michael Carter II, I know nothing about. I don't think he's a big guy or has played the corner. So what my question is the plan to move Coop to the outside and then have these other guys play a slot position or a nickel position? And if so, does that give us the best chance to win? I think we can all agree Cooper DeJean, where he's been playing in the slot, and he can hit and tackle bigger guys and cover tight ends, I think is what puts us in the best position to win.
Yeah.
But do you think they're going to put him out on the other corner?
I think they would only do that if Jair Alexander doesn't work out there, because Vic Fangio's said over and over again he doesn't want to take Cooper DeJean out of the slot. He doesn't want to take him out of there. So yeah, it was odd though when he picked up Michael Carter. Like, why would you pick him up? Because he only plays the slot.
That's right.
Right.
So
right. So were they thinking about it? I don't know. But my feeling is what their plan is for Jair Alexander to start at the second corner spot with DeJean still in the slot. That Michael Carter is basically your 4th corner. Now, if Jair Alexander stinks, then you might be moving Cooper DeJean and putting Michael Carter at the nickel. So who knows? But I think that it's just going to have to unfold over time. One positive, Jair Alexander once did intercept Tom Brady on back-to-back possessions.
Okay, great.
No, but the other one though, Jalen Phillips,
and I once got dates 2 calls in a row, and
there you go.
Nothing the rest of my life.
Oh, man.
until Lemmer took pity on me.
Hey, if Lemmer was one of those calls, man, that's awesome. No, but this the Jalen Phillips, apparently Vic Fangio loves him and wants him. So if Fangio loves him and wants him, I'm sold on that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He just needs to stay healthy. He just needs to stay healthy.
Right. And the other thing is he's apparently he's like a super good guy, super good teammate, gets really involved with the community. I like good people, like I don't like, we don't need another AJ Brown on our team.
So you like Jalen Carter?
I'm not a big fan of his personality. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we'll
listen, I
see.
think Phillips, if anyone's going to be the prize, it's going to be him. I think everyone understands that and gets that, and
Yeah.
and we'll have to see. So,
I'll tell you what though, Rube, because in some regards, yeah, would it have been fun and exciting if they would have brought in a Miles Garrett or Max Crosby or Trey Hendrickson? Sure, but the more I think about it, I don't want to be that team that gives up 2 or 3 first round picks. And then, we get this guy who's maybe like good for a half a season, and then they start tailing off because they're in their 30s, and year after year we don't have these good picks.
or do you give them up and get ready? You give up 3 picks and get Reggie White. You know what
Well,
I
but
mean? Right?
yeah,
So
but I
we
don't.
let Reggie White leave, and he still continued to play great into his late 30s.
Well, I mean, look, there's only one Reggie White though. I mean, to be honest with you, like Miles Garrett, he's kind of a conundrum to me.
Hmm.
Like, okay, so like this year, okay, so was he? I think he's got like 10 sacks on the year, but 5 were in one game, and they lost that game.
Well,
You know what I mean?
he plays for a crap team too.
He does, but I don't know. I mean, I've seen plenty of games where Miles Garrett's done nothing. So I don't know. It's not like a force to be reckoned with.
Hmm. I think you and I will agree to disagree on that one.
Okay,
I
all
think
right.
I think he's phenomenal, and I think he's in great shape. And I think if he'd be on a winning team and got the energy of being in a winning team, playing with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, and even BG for a while, my concern would be is we're missing out on an opportunity to throw all our cards in the middle and go for dynasty. And the fact of the matter is, how he made these moves, because you can't be a dynasty by if you're not rushing the quarterback and sacking the quarterback, you have to have a great defensive backfield. If you don't have a
Mhm.
great defensive backfield, you have to be sacking the quarterback. Well, guess where we made all of our moves to shore up both
Mhm.
of those positions,
Right.
maybe. And so if those if those pickups don't pan out, I don't think we're winning another Super Bowl, because you can't do both not great.
Well, I mean, like I think that he looks at think about like, all right, so Jalen Phillips replaces Josh Sweat. Okay. Josh Sweat has 5 sacks this year. Jalen Phillips has 3. All right. I mean, either one of them could finish with more sacks than the other. I think he looks at him as like he's a Sweat. Let's see how he does. I mean, like we got him. We got Nolan Smith coming back. Hopefully after the bye, they say. We got BG now in the rotation. We got
J-
Moro Ajomo with 4 sacks on the year.
Jalex
Like,
Hunt.
yeah, we got Jalex Hunt just got a couple sacks. We got uh what's his name? Jordan Davis has 3 sacks on the year. Yeah, the only one who's got like 1 sack is Jalen Carter. But I mean, I think he thinks like, hey, look, we kind of won with the same formula last year. We don't need TJ Watt or
Mm.
Miles Garrett, or we don't need to sink our whole freaking payroll into a Micah Parsons. You know what I mean? I think it's the better way to go.
I'm
I
pretty
say
sure that
trust. I say trust in Howie's ability to draft.
I do trust, but I'm pretty sure if the reports were right, we wanted Micah badly, and I probably would have paid him
Yeah,
over Jalen Carter at this point. But we'll see. We'll
yeah,
see. Yeah,
yeah.
but
Micah Parsons, he's got 5.5 sacks. Sorry, he got 1.5 sacks more than Moro Ajomo. Okay.
there, I don't have anything to say in refute of that, Schwabini. But I'll tell you what, kind of wrapping up the Eagles discussion,
Yes.
the schedule looks a little bit easier if Jaden Daniels maybe the rest of the year, doesn't it? Hate to see a guy like that get hurt, but
Yeah.
all
Hey,
of a sudden the schedule doesn't look as daunting, does it?
no, I'll tell you what. I mean, my God, like I was watching that game live, and I was saying to some folks that I was texting with, I was like, this is malpractice to not have him out of this game. There's 7 minutes left. You're down 31. What is and not only that, but he's also getting killed on every other play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it made no sense, man. Like, what are you thinking? What are you
Yeah.
thinking? But I'll tell you what, the other thing too is, oh my gosh, their defense is brutal this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, you expected a sophomore slump, but he's been injured and you're right, their defense just isn't very good. And so I feel good about our chances. But what do we think? How about some predictions for next Monday night? How do you feel against a Packer team that looked great 2 weeks ago and invincible to losing to Carolina?
Yeah, I mean, Carolina's kind of like a sneaky good little team there. But I don't know. I mean,
that was so patronizing. It's a sneaky little. That's like what our wives say. Like, why don't you go out with your little friends tonight?
right. I don't know. I mean, I would have felt better about the game if Green Bay would have won this week. Because I think whenever you lose, it's like you have a heightened, focus for the next week.
Yeah, there's sense of urgency.
Let's get this back on track. Like, believe it or not, the Eagles, based on tiebreakers, are in the 1 seed now. And the week before Green Bay was, and then they fell below us. So to them, it's a pretty big swing game. Like, they either go like 1.5 behind us or they overtake us again, for the number 1 spot. So, but you know what? I mean, I'm just going to say the heck with it. I'm going out there and I'm saying the Eagles are going to win this game for whatever reason. I don't really know why. I feel like the Packers are a very hard team to play, especially in Lambeau. But doesn't it seem like we always beat them?
Yeah, over the past few years we have, and I'll tell you, here's why I think we'll win the game. A, we're coming off a bye and hopefully getting some people back. B, they lost one of their biggest weapons. They lost Tucker Kraft. He's out for the year.
That is true.
So huge. I picked him up last year in my fantasy league, and he blew it up. And I was trying to figure out a way to get him back this year, and I saw that he got hurt. And he is one of their big weapons. Loves throwing to him. So I think we come in and well rested and prepared to play at Lambeau. Against perhaps a beat up and dejected team that will probably be hungry to show the world that they're okay on a Monday night, but I like our chances. So I go Eagles 31, Packers 24.
I'm going to go Eagles 28, Packers 25.
Oh, 25. Okay.
Don't know how we get there. We just do.
Okay. Good enough.
All right.
Hey, where are people watching us? How can people watch this show?
How can people watch the show? They can watch the show on X, and we have a lot of people watching on X. If you go on X, which is formerly known as Twitter, it is at Philly Porch. One word, Philly Porch, pretty simple. You can watch on YouTube at Philadelphia Sports Porch with a capital P, capital S, capital P. And you can also watch on Philadelphia Beautiful. You just go onto the Facebook page and we're going to show up there for you. So thank you for those of you who are hanging with us here. We've gone through some vacation times, but we're getting back to ramping up. And we may, in the near future, do a immediate post-game show.
Ooh, and I like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty exciting because I think a lot of people always want to hear thoughts right after the game. And I know some folks who do it for another franchise, and I'll tell you what, it seems like immediately after the game, it's a much more emotional show.
Let's do it. We'll let everybody know over X and on Philadelphia Beautiful and Facebook what the plans are. How about a little not late breaking news, but an update. Those Philadelphia Flyers up 3-0 at the end of the first on the Canadians. 2 goals by my new favorite player, Bobby Brink.
I wasn't really sure about Bobby Brink, but I'll tell you what, Bobby Brink is winning me over.
Okay.
Bobby Brink, he seems to he gets involved. By the way, it's also another 2-point night for Trevor Zegras already.
What the heck? Where did this guy come from?
Zegras has 11 assists so far on the year.
Yeah,
So,
it's hey,
No,
listen, even
actually,
a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again, so hopefully our luck is turning.
yeah, well, Montreal is a good team. They're
Yeah,
9-3. They're one of the
yeah.
better teams in the league. So, hey, we'll see if this holds. In
Hey,
hockey,
coming off of 2 bad losses, I'm sure Taka got on their ass.
he did. Yeah, I mean, and in hockey, goals come in flurries. So, you just gotta hold your breath. The Pittsburgh. Oh shit! I did it again.
Oh, you did it.
I mentioned. Well,
Ah!
at least give me a break. I was going to rejoice in their failure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Please,
it was
do tell.
the Penguins had a 3-0 lead yesterday, and they lost the game in regulation 4-3.
Oh, okay. Well, that's always
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
It's
there we
always
go.
nice.
Yeah,
It's always
yeah,
nice to see that team from
yeah,
the other side of the state lose. They're due
yeah.
some losing, and we're due some winning. For
That's
God's
right.
sakes.
That is right. So, what do you think about your 6-5-1 Flyers at this point?
Well, I would say that what's really cool, I don't know how this happened, but they're on like every night here. So when they
Are they?
play, I can see them on like ESPN Plus,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll go to Hulu, or now I didn't even know this, we've got NHL TV at the Rubenstein house, and they were
Oh,
on twice this weekend. And maybe I shouldn't watch because they look pretty bad against Toronto, against Calgary at home.
yeah, yeah.
So all my excitement and all my perhaps over the ski talk last week may have come back to haunt me because I perhaps got a little excited too fast. Um, uh, maybe we sneak in. Maybe we sneak in this year. But this is what I'm excited about. I think we're seeing, like we talked about last week, aside from the 2 bad games this weekend, we're seeing other players other than Michkov chip in, and Konechny and Tippett chip in, and that's good to see.
And Forster.
And Forster,
Yeah.
and he got robbed on that goal against Penguins, but I digress.
Yes, yeah.
But they're exciting and they're fun to watch, and for the most part they do play hard. They're getting scoring. We'll see if this Vladar is the real deal. Probably a little bit too soon to tell. I know he's up there, at least was before the weekend in save percentage. So I think it's just, for me, I'm optimistic about the season because it's no more tearing it down. At this point, it's building up. It's adding pieces. It's no more getting rid of the past regime's players. This is time for Danny Briere and what's the other guy's name? And Keith Jones, to start seeing their players and their farm system play good hockey. So are we going to get it every night? No, that's why we're at the 500 mark. But I'm optimistic that we got a little bit higher of a ceiling as we go into the season into next. So I'm interested, and I'll continue to watch them.
Now, Rube, the other team playing at the arena is off to a hell of a start.
Hey, by the way, it's not the Wells Fargo Center anymore?
No, it's not. It's something else. What is it? I can't remember.
Oh, man, I forgot. I saw it on the ice the other night. I'm like, when did that change?
Yeah.
But we digress.
It ends with arena. It ends with arena.
Oh, very good. Very good. Got it. That other team. Mark, when's the last time you saw Rube excited about the other team?
Oh, boy, it's been a long, long time. I mean, I'm actually glad maybe that you were on vacation, because if we had done a pre-Sixers season preview, we might have had some list of how many games Maxey and George and Embiid are going to play together. and right now, I would say, every night that doesn't happen is a good thing.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Paul George can stay hurt and stay on the bench and collect his money. And listen, when's the last time we had five guys in averaging double figures? It's been a
Yeah,
while,
man.
and apparently McCain's coming back this week.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I'll be really
he's available for the game tonight. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to play, but he might be playing tonight.
there we go, man. So we can watch Edgecombe, Maxey, and maybe McCain in a three-guard offense with Adem Bona or Embiid or some of the other big galoots up front with Quentin Grimes playing some long ball and going to the basket. And I'm excited about it. I really am. I think the better we can do without the big money guys and the young guys playing well, I think is great. Now, I'd like to see them play some defense. It kind of feels like who was the guy, Mark D'Antonio or whatever his name was, type of team.
From the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, he was Phoenix's coach for a while. Um, uh, I'd like to see them play just a little bit of defense
Mhm.
because over time you just can't outscore everybody all year long. And the other thing, did you notice the world champs in Oklahoma City, 7-0? So they're not going away anytime soon.
Mm.
What say you? What are you feeling about those Sixers, those first place Sixers?
Um. Oh, look, Jared McCain is back.
Okay.
So I think he's playing tonight.
Who are they playing? Who are they
In
playing
bench
tonight?
role. I think it might be the Bulls. I think who are also 5-1.
Okay.
Let me see here.
Yep,
Yeah,
Bulls.
Sixers Bulls. Yep, 8 o'clock. Um, I'm very excited about how the Sixers are playing. Look, I mean, the reality is that when these guys get drafted, you think you know, but you really don't know. And I think it's pretty obvious that we got the right guy. I mean, we got the guy who should have been taken number one at number three. He's
Really? At number
oh yeah,
one. At number
oh yeah,
one.
yes.
Not a fan of Cooper Flag, huh?
He's okay. He's okay. I mean, like, look, Cooper Flag is a look. You know what Cooper Flag is.
Tell me,
Cooper,
Mark. What
Coo-
who
Coo-
Cooper Flag
Cooper,
is who?
Cooper Flag is this player when he was at his best.
Let me think. I shouldn't say another white guy because that would be obvious.
But
But
you're on the right track there, though.
okay. He is this guy when he was his best.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Jones.
Kevin Love. Is that his name?
Kevin Love, yeah, the guy who started with Minnesota, then went to Cleveland.
Went to the
But,
Heat. Well, he was on the Heat he won his championships on the Heat, right? Kevin Love?
nah, did he? He was in Minnesota first, then he went to Cleveland. I think he won with LeBron in Cleveland.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, and
Maybe he
then he went
did.
to the
Yeah.
Heat, maybe. So you think he's Kevin Love?
Yeah, he's Kevin Love. I mean, like, he's like, look, he'll be an all-star at some point. But he's okay. He's just okay. I mean, he's not jumping out of the gym, like a VJ Edgecombe.
Okay.
VJ, like, like it's like, I mean, it's kind of like, it's I'll make this comparison, okay? Cooper Flag is to VJ Edgecombe as Christian Leitner is to Dwayne Wade.
This makes no sense. that was the worst. That was the worst comparison. SAT worded response I've ever heard.
I saw something. I don't know if who's the wild man on Golden State Green? What's his name?
Oh, man, I'm getting old.
Yeah,
Da, 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 da.
something Green, right?
What's wrong with me? Green on golden. State or Draymond Green.
Draymond Green, right?
Yeah.
I saw something. I don't know if he's still playing, or I think he is, but he was like in the studio, and I heard him talking about VJ Edgecombe, and he was like, "Man, that dude is nice."
So you're putting him above Cooper Flag because Draymond Green says he's nice.
I do, man. I do.
So your hot take is VJ Edgecombe better career than Cooper Flag.
Oh yeah,
When all is
sure.
said and done.
For sure. I mean, everybody forgets about, the tall, lanky white guy that just, puts up a double-double every night. 20 and 10. 20 and 10. Seen a million of you. See ya.
I hope people out there who are listening could appreciate my Bobby Jones comment.
Yes. Well, but the only thing about Bobby Jones is, even though he's in the Hall of Fame, I mean, he was like a sixth man. So I feel like it takes.
He was when he got to the Sixers, but I think he was like all world when he was in either the ABA or his early days in the NBA. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we got him kind of towards the end. But
okay.
but we digress. Listen,
Yes,
I'll stay excited about the Sixers as long as they allow me to stay excited. I'm not going to go Negadelphia until I'm not going Negadelphia and the Sixers. I'm going to be a Sixers fan this whole year, no matter what. And you gotta hold me accountable, even in the bad times, even when I'm sick and tired of Embiid and his stupid antics and getting fined. I'm going to be a fan, and I'm going to stay up on it.
It could be a fun story that we just didn't see coming.
Yeah, I hope it is. I hope it is.
And actually, really, the big key of the whole thing, which I think we get a little swept up with VJ Edgecombe, but the big story really is Tyrese Maxey. He was leading the league in scoring, and now he is 0.3 behind Giannis Antetokounmpo is at 34 points a game, and Maxey is at 33.7. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is at 33.6.
Wow.
So I mean, he's really balling out. He really is.
He did this last year, and it's just like we start talking about with the Eagles. We just, you know what? Slow your roll a little bit, man. Don't hurt yourself and burn yourself out. And I don't need him averaging 33 points a game. It would be nice, but I don't think that's sustainable for him.
Well, but do we really know that? Do we really know that?
We don't. That's Rub's opinion.
Yeah.
Based on 1 year of experience with him playing, essentially carrying the team. But I think the good news now is you got Edgecombe. Hopefully McCain comes back and plays well. You got Quentin Grimes. You got Embiid, chipping in his 17, 18 points when he can play. So I'd like to see the scoring spread out a little bit. And that would make me a bit more comfortable not to be reliant so much on just one guy.
Oubre. Don't forget Oubre.
Kelly Oubre. Who can forget him? I did.
All right. Well, I think we're at our last segment here, Rube.
Yes.
We have a segment of our show that we like to call What We're Watching, or Stream Sauce. Some folks like one title better than the other. But all this really comes down to is we know that there are so many shows out there that you can watch, and it's so hard to figure out. You got so many choices: Hulu, HBO Max, Netflix, Prime, Peacock, Paramount Plus. I mean, we could go on forever, right? Forever. But this is the part where we do something for you. We appreciate you so much. We love you so much as our faithful, loyal flock, that what we are going to do for you is we're going to save you the time and the aggravation of looking. We're going to save you. You don't have to go to Rotten Tomatoes and see if it got good reviews, because half the time, what does that mean anyway, right? You just listen to the guys at the Sports Porch Philadelphia, and we're either going to give you the 2 thumbs up or the 2 thumbs down We might give you a thumb up and a thumb down, but that probably to me means there's better stuff to see.
Yeah.
But we're gonna tell you straight, and I'll tell you what, if it's 2 thumbs up from us, it's a guaranteed success. We will make you the hero. So, Rube, we're gonna start with you
Okay.
this week, and Rube is watching this show here. Or is it a show or a movie?
So this is a movie.
Okay, The
This is a Wes Anderson movie about Zsa Zsa Corda, who is in the middle there, played by Benicio del Toro.
He's a great actor.
Who's a great actor, and that's Michael Cera. There's a lot of good actors in this movie. Hanks is in this movie. Hanks' son is in it for, I'll just say, a short amount of time. Scarlett Johansson's in it. And probably one of my favorite scenes was Tom Hanks and who's the guy who played Walter White in Bryan Cranston.
Right.
Anyway, it's one of these kind of eclectic, bizarre movies. He plays a wealthy businessman, and he decides he's going to leave his entire estate to his daughter. He's got a bunch of sons, but he leaves it to his daughter, who's on his to our left, to his right, who's a nun. And the movie essentially talks about all the people that want to kill him, even the people he does business with, and how they have to essentially, he tries to convince people to help him pay down a debt. So it's really what's the best way to say it? It's a little zany. It's like one of those
dark comedy.
It's like a dark comedy. It's a great way to say it. So watched it on the airplane, and unbeknownst to me, Lemmer, this is on the flight home from Europe. Lemmer was watching the same thing, and I knew it was going to be good because she was snickering out loud on the airplane, louder than you probably should laugh on the plane. So I'm like, I'm going to give it a shot. And I gave it a shot, and I think I snickered out loud as well. So if you like a little bit dark comedy, a little zany, great acting by people that great actors, probably in roles that you probably haven't seen them in before, check it out. The Phoenician Scheme. I believe it is on, let's see what it's on. It's on, go to yours and I'll let people know. Phoenician.
All right.
Streaming.
The Phoenician. Has it been out?
It's on Peacock. It's on Prime as well.
Okay.
I think it's been out for a while. I remember seeing the previews and thinking that's kind of really weird. It's been out since July 8th. So check it out. I think I think you'll enjoy it, Mark, and then you'll be like,
right.
I didn't necessarily get all that. I may have to watch this one again to get all the innuendo. Like one of those types of movies.
Well, I also watched a movie on a plane.
Okay.
Because what else are you going to do on the plane? Right?
Yeah.
So I watched...
Who reads?
I know. So I watched Novocaine. Have you ever heard of it?
I have not.
Yeah, it's got absolutely nobody in it that you would know.
Okay.
And it was actually really good. It's actually very similar to maybe what you were telling me about with The Phoenician, kind of a dark comedy.
Okay.
And it's basically about this guy here who what happens with him is he grows up with like a disability where he can't feel pain. Okay. And so there's weird things that he has to do. Like he has to like set his watch to go to the bathroom every 3 hours because he can't feel anything. So he doesn't want to piss himself because
so he doesn't know this. He doesn't feel the have to pee since the urination sensation.
Okay, right. Okay. Stuff like that. Right. So, but it was also kind of like you sort of played this sad character where in school when people found out about this problem that he had, like he'd get beat up because they're like, well, yeah, you can't feel it. right? Stuff like that. So anyway, what happens is he's like an assistant manager at a bank, and there's a girl that's a bank teller, and this girl that's a bank teller takes an interest in him. And it seems like it's like the first time that maybe he's like, actually having feelings for somebody, or somebody even looks at him, right?
Yeah.
And what happens
So
is
he can't feel pain, but he can feel love.
well, no, he can't feel pain, but he can feel pleasure.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay. I like that.
So anyway, the bank gets robbed, and they take the girl as a hostage.
Ooh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And he like this girl like means everything to him, even though they've only been on a couple dates, right? And he's just like, well, what do I got to lose? I can't feel pain. I'm just gonna go after her, right?
Uh-huh.
And so basically it's kind of funny. It's just like it's him trying to like find his way to like where all the bad guys are. And like every time he sees the bad guys, he's just like, just tell me where she is. And they're just like trying to kill him. And he's just like, I don't want to hurt you. But they're like stabbing him through his hand, and he's just like, I told you, I don't want to hurt you.
So he can't die from a bullet to the head.
No, like, and actually, like one of the things that was really funny was he does get shot, right?
Uh-huh.
And he goes to this guy. He's got like a few like kind of like off kilter friends here and there, and he like walks in. He's just like, hey, listen, man. He's like, I need your help. He's like, I got shot. He's like, well, let me call you an ambulance. He's like, no, man, I got it. And he just takes out a knife and he just like opens up his chest and he just like takes the things, he pulls it out, he pulls the bullet out, and the guy's just like, dude, how did you do that? Like, that didn't kill you? You know what I mean? So
Mark, how did you decide this was the movie? I want to go inside of Mark Schwab's head for a second, and I want to understand how on earth, of all the movies you got to choose from on the airplane.
Yeah,
because they show more than one on the airplane now.
Well, no. This was I downloaded it from my Prime account.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But I will say this. I had actually at one point, I'm going to say it came out about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Mm-hmm. I did at one point, I did actually think about seeing it in the movies, because when it came out, it got really good Rotten Tomatoes scores. I think it was like maybe like 93% Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
And they were all, really good reviews, just saying like, oh, this was like a great surprise out of nowhere with people that you never saw before. It's really funny, that kind of a thing. Uh-huh. So, but I never made it. I didn't actually say, hey, I'm going to see Novocaine in the movie theater. So, I'm looking for stuff, and like something, I don't know about you, but it's like, I don't want to look through my Hulu, my Netflix, my Prime, to find
it's exhausting.
It's exhausting. So I just opened up Prime, and I'm like, I'm going to pick two, like one for the way down, one for the way back. And, I picked one first, and then I was looking for a second one, and I'm like, I just couldn't think of anything that like I knew had like been apparently really highly praised. I was looking at a lot of like B movie type stuff. And so I was just like, all right, I'm going to give this one a shot.
Okay. So what was the verdict? Is thumbs up?
Yeah, it's a 2 thumbs up. I think it's a fun film. Fun film.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, who needs Rotten Tomatoes? I'm going to listen to the Grand Schwabini. And if Lemmer and I are ever looking for a movie, or Luke and I, or anyone, and it's a dark comedy, so you'll laugh a little, but little twisted.
Yeah, it's like full of action. There's a twist or two that'll surprise you. That kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. Novocaine. Who needs Rotten Tomatoes when you got the Grand Schwabini? I like it.
That's what I'm here for, my friend. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching and joining and just enjoying the program. And Lemmer, thank you for all the wonderful comments tonight. We appreciate how excited you are about the show. I have to tell you, I might have to have a talk with Amy May.
Where did Amy May go?
I don't know where Amy May has gone. I think she's prioritizing friendships above the show. But
Mm,
either
mm.
way, I think, I'm on the verge of telling her that Leslie might be the new number one fan of the show. I mean, that
I
might just be the case.
ooh, then that's fighting words for Amy
It's
May.
yeah, well, maybe she needs to hear it.
Maybe she needs
You
a little
know?
Rick. Maybe she needs a little Rick Tocchet hard coaching.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think I'm gonna have some words with her. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. You can always find us on X at Philly Porch, on YouTube at Philadelphia Sports Porch, and dropping the podcast. You can watch that basically on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts. For the Rube, I am the Grand Schwabini. We will take you out with the Eagles fight song as we get ready for Monday Night Football at the Packers. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
I have just